Right. Apologies for the short delay. We didn't have time to set this up properly. Turns out we didn't finish the tutorial level on the demo. So we're just quickly getting Jamie just to run through it. But luckily it is our debug build, so it does allow us to switch on cool things like weather and photo mode. It isn't connected online, so you won't see any sort of online connectivity, face-offs, activity feeds, etc. So we're just going to show you some pretties basically. Now, most of you guys, because you know a lot about Driveclub, you've probably seen a lot of the presentations that I've already done that have been streamed online or videos on YouTube, etc. So I don't want to repeat the same ones over and over again. So I wouldn't mind if you guys choose which location we go to, and then we can set up weather effects and we can show you some of the environments. It also means I don't think we've got a wide range of cars to choose from because it's a dead build, but we'll see. We might only have one or two cars, but it's not a problem. We'll still show you through. So any particular locations you want to go to? We've got India, Chile, Norway, Scotland, and what's the last one? Canada. There we go. I should know the game by now. Oh, just making sure I don't say any other locations accidentally. So any preferences for us to go to? So we can... Chile? Yeah. Okay, we'll go to Chile. Not actually shown rain in Chile yet. I wonder what that looks like. We'll find out in a second. Yeah. Yeah. Now, because weather is work in progress, it isn't finished just yet. There are things we are still working on. There are going to be additional effects such as full screen effects. So on the main screen, you'll get rain droplets coming down. And obviously when you're in the cockpit view, which isn't actually hooked up yet, you'll have the windscreen wipers dynamically pushing the water off the windscreen. I saw the latest build like yesterday, and that looks pretty stunning, but it's still not quite ready to show publicly yet, but as soon as we can do, we will. Don't worry. It's a slow car. It's a slow car.
I'm a really bad driver, I'm good at racing.
Yeah, don't race against Jimmy on the road. Very different thing. I think when we asked Martin, Jamie was there, and he said, "You've got a lead foot, was it?" Yeah. All right, let's see what we've got in this build, and let's see what we can jump into. On level 3.
Well, hey, you got a trophy.
There you go. Rear-wheel drive. A few trophies, and here we go. Right, so I'll just jump into a single event. Go to Chile. That was the one that was chosen, and then we'll stick on. Well, it depends on what cars we've got, really. It depends on the track. Chile. Let me just see what cars I've got before I choose the stage. Actually, I've got all of them. Ah, would you like? So it needs a reasonably quick car, but let me just set up a decent time of day. Poutre is quite a cool track. Let's set it up. Let's start it nice and early in the morning, so it starts off dark and then transition to light. Let's put it on cast. 45. Let's get them off. Right, I think I'm gonna go in a supercar. Any preference?
Ferrari,
Ferrari, I heard, so I'm gonna go with that. We've got. Let's go with the fat. No, let's. I do like the 458. Just gonna jump in a default livery. Let's get straight into the race. Now, most devs don't talk about loading times, but it's one of the things actually we do talk about because it's so rapid. I mean, in most cases, you're talking 10 seconds, even less, and that's ready to go. You don't have to wait, you're straight into it. Because this is a dev build, I wasn't able to set up the rain beforehand, so if you just give me 1 second, switch it on, and we'll get racing. Yeah, you can
driving and talking is almost impossible.
It's one of those things that it's quite challenging. And most of the time when I'm racing as well, I'm always racing from this sort of acute angle. And as everyone knows, it's never the best sort of setup. Yeah. So one of the things we've tried to do with the rain, of course, is make sure it looks awesome. But a big part of it is also how it changes the gameplay as well. So obviously we've got it set up here, so it comes in really quickly, and it's just going to be on for the entirety of the race. But we've got weather that can be gradually introduced up to like certain levels, so it only affects handling a little bit, but you can have full torrential rain, and that really affects the handling, so you're drifting around all over the place. And of course, if you've got a long race, it can go from wet to dry, back to wet, and ever evolving sort of weather conditions. Some of the things that aren't in just yet, but we are going to be showing soon, include thunder and lightning. And I was speaking to a low-level tech guy yesterday called Ollie Wright, who's just an absolute genius. And what we've done with our lighting system as well, we're not just faking it, we're not just having texture in the background. It's actually forks will actually come down, and we can position whereabouts on the road they will actually go. And again, because it's full dynamic lighting, again, it will light up the local areas that the lightning comes down in. And the other guys have just started work on the thunder side of things as well, so that's going to look and sound really impressive. So I think Jim just switched it to 0, so this should start to dry out. But maybe I set it too late at night to really kind of see the puddles. Ideally, if you had the lights off, you'd be able to see the thing on. Can we get the lights off up there, or are they stuck on? We got some over there. It's really kind of just drowning out the image right now. And then I think as soon as the sun starts to come up, we'll get Jimmy to jump into photo mode. You know how to use photo mode? Yeah, good. Because photo mode is obviously a new feature that we've been working on, we've been talking about already, and we're hoping to drop it really soon after launch, so it's not something you're going to have to wait around too long for. And it's something that at any point in the race, you can just press right on the touchpad.
Do we do it now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just sit down. See what it looks like.
Oh, I have to rock that.
There we go. Little tutorial, we can ignore that. You know what you're doing. So, are you in free camera now? You want to type up and down, toggle through. So you will notice some translations and things still need to be done, because this is obviously still work in progress. We give you control over where you move in the environment. We allow you to go between all the game cameras, of course, and then we allow you to manipulate the zoom. But because we've got quite a few photographers who work at Evolution, we've got like a full set of effects, such as aperture, focus distance, and some of the results we're getting from photo mode already are pretty stunning. We're still not finished yet. So that's the focal distance that you just saw then, that green barrier. You can move backwards and forwards, and you can position it inside the world so you can get the right depth of field. It's still a bit too low. Keep driving, get it lighted. The sun's just about to come up. Hopefully before this stage ends. Yeah. I should have put it on the race as well, because there are other cars lighting things up.
Not bad.
A bit of showing off there from David. Yeah. But you know, it's a bit wet, so it actually helps with it. So, that's probably why it's getting around the corners alright. Yeah. And obviously, rain is just one of the effects. When we go to Norway, obviously you'll get snow, and the main difference between the snow and the rain is actually the visibility, because you've got snowflakes in front, and especially at night time when you've got your headlights lighting up and you're hitting 200 miles an hour, it does become a massive challenge to actually see where you're going. So a lot of it's kind of memory of the courses almost, of where you're going around, and I think that's going to be really interesting when we get that all hooked into the challenges system. Because what we've found over the past few days, because obviously we've got the retail game, we've been playing it, we have a lot of journals, and challenges have just been going back and forth. We've already seen some really interesting combinations of cars, tracks, and time of day, etc. But when you bring in weather to the mix, I think it's going to make a massive difference. I don't think it's going to get to... I said it too early in the morning. We need our director here. He knows every single time of day when the sun actually comes up, because the sun always arises at the same time, because we've set each of the locations to a specific season. See, someone's just coming up. The fireworks was coming out. Yeah. Let's jump into Canada. There's a different location. There you go. Yeah, there we go. Let's continue and stick it all on the points, and then yeah, stick about. I don't know, about 4 PM. Yeah, Kaush is good. Yeah, so that's what we started. Just so we got a bit of light. Even at 45 should be good. And there we go. And I stick it into you in the time trial. Stick it in the race now. Let's get to all the cars in there. You're in race like that, that's good. Whatever you want, yeah, I guess. Yeah, someone's just suggested Aerial Atom. JV chickened out. Aerial Atom is probably one of the hardest cars inside the game, along with the Hennessy Venom GT. we've tried to make sure that with the handling, we've kind of really captured the characteristics of the cars. And fortunately, we haven't been able to drive every single one, but we have been able to drive a lot of these cars in real life. And those experiences have really influenced how the cars kind of feel and sound, of course, because we obviously record them at the same time. So what we tried to do is really bring in the character and kind of bring that out. So when you're racing in, even the difference between like a CLA and an A45 Mercedes, they're very similar cars, but they still have different characteristics. So it's making sure that those really shine through. So Jamie's in a Wire this time around. I think this is one of the easiest to pack cars, right? Sorry, just smashing into them. Collision penalties along the way. It's fine.
It's raining, it's difficult.
Yeah, one of the things you notice, if for example, Jamie would have set it to start off in clear, as it starts to rain, you actually see the clouds start to form in all of the world, and everything starts to become slightly darker, conditions become slightly different. And then obviously you've got all the spray to contend with off the cars in front of you. And now it's in daytime, you can actually see it properly. Yes.
That's Laura.
If you can catch up to them, we'll jump into form mode and we'll have a little fly around. One of the cool things you'll notice about the puddles as well is that they're completely procedural as well. So if they're on a downward slant, the rain won't actually sit on them. They'll all sit at the basin beneath. So it's all these little touches that you'll start to notice as you play through, which really kind of make it stand out and look different to, a lot of racing games where everything just looks a little bit shiny. We're trying to make sure it's as physically real as possible. What difficulty is this on? Medium? No? Semi-pro? I was actually watching a stream of someone, I think it was one of the journalists, and for some crazy reason it set the AI difficulty to legendary. And it was going, this is pretty hard. And it's like, yeah, this is the hardest difficulty setting.
Sebastian Loeb.
Yeah, Sebastian Loeb couldn't beat them. Because what we tried to do with legendary is make them almost perfect race drivers. So if you're up for a real challenge, stick with legendary. I can't come in the top 3 against legendary ones, and good luck to you if you try it. Especially in the hyper cars, which are a little bit more difficult. Oh. That's a good save. That's a good save. What might happen next, Jamie? Don't cause that. Yeah, just look at the pretties. And the shinies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously all the raindrops are all individual particles, and they'll. I think you actually slide off the back. Yeah. Oh, what's going on there? This is a dead build. There are occasionally bugs here and there. The retail district is fine. Hopefully we won't introduce any bugs into the real game. We're trying to give you as much freedom as possible between the fly cams, and you can switch, I believe, between the different competitors as well, so you can get a good picture from anywhere on the track. Obviously, little things like the brake discs on the rear of the car there, nice reflecting down below. Obviously, things like the puddles that I mentioned before. If it's in a muddy area, the ground becomes sodden, becomes more difficult to drive on. If you have to get 2 wheels off, so you're just more likely to spin. And yeah, look at that vista. And most of our tracks, especially the point-to-point ones, are all built in like a 10 by 10 sort of square sort of area, so they're absolutely massive. So the draw distances are absolutely killer. And Jimmy's just playing around with some of the filters we've got now. Nice. It's a little more, I'd say, challenging than probably like Infamous and Last of Us, I think, to get an easy shot. But what we're trying to do is make sure we're giving you more control, more flexibility of the photos. And I think they are pretty much final, but I think we're going to be asking the community in the next week or so to suggest some more filters. So the filters that Jamie was flicking through, we still want to add more into there to give you, more flexibility of how you want to get your pictures. So we will try and continue to update and improve features, even like photo mode after we've got them out. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's like a lot of people have been asking about the collision penalty system and how that works. So I'll give you a little bit of detail. Basically, if we detect that you're trying to bounce off a wall or cut a corner too much or slam into another competitor to use as a like a buffer to bounce around the corner, we issue a collision penalty on the car, and that slows you down for a period of seconds relative to the impact. Now you know. Different location? It snow? Stick it in Norway quickly. Right, well, let's not go to Harangen because I think most people have seen Harangen. Oh, look, that's invisible. The additional location. Yeah. Oh, you didn't see that. Unless you want to show the DLC track, we could do. No.
Yeah, not for Norway.
Not for Norway. Oh, okay. Don't go on the racetrack.
We're waiting for the Norwegian government to give us the approval to use the location.
Shouldn't.
Yeah, we want to use.
Yeah.
So until we get that.
Yeah, skip all the way to the left. And go on. Yeah, go on Homestead. Homestead's good. Top one. Left one, sorry. Event settings. Look at it just an hour too early because it gets quite dark early. Stick it to clear as well. There we go. Let's go straight into that. No, I don't think you're gonna go near an outside. It's getting crazy. You gonna try it? Okay. Very relaxing in the snow. It's not gonna end well. It's really not. This is definitely one of the cars where if you're just clumsy with the throttle and you're just holding down R2, you are just going to spin around in donuts. You've got to really be careful with easing it in. I think it's probably the most complained about car in dev because a lot of people just expect us to be able to, I can drive any car. Now we want to make sure that the challenge of these cars are representative of the cars in real life as well. Because I've been in an aerial atom and they are absolutely mental. Ridiculous cars. There's way much more power than a car that size and weight should have. It's just crazy. I don't think we're actually showing off this track yet, have we? You might want to stick on the snow.
Okay.
Yeah, stick it on. There we go. Just need to wiggle it on. Should we crank up the sound a little bit and hear the cars? Let's just do it there. I'll shut up for a minute because I don't want to hear me speak all the time. As well, because of the temperature and the height that Jim's been down to, the snow's not actually sticking to the road. That's what we fixed. that's all we've got time for, or are you knocking the rain back on again? No, we're up to now. Because we've got a lot to do tonight, so it's time to move on. Oh, it's going to be a good view, that as well. Yes. So, I'm not quite sure what the next proceedings are. Is that Jamie's going to hand over now? Right, have you got your mic on still? Just switch it.